Former President Trump's criminal trial resumes tomorrow morning in New York City after emotional testimony from his former aide, Hope Hicks, on Friday. She broke down in tears at one point, but also took the opportunity to criticize Trump's former lawyer and so-called fixer, Michael Cohen, who is slated to be the prosecution's star witness. We'll see if Cohen takes the stand this week. For more on this, let's bring in former prosecutor Steve Baric. All right, so Steve, if prosecution was expecting or hoping that Michael Cohen would be their ace in the hole witness, I mean, has defense dashed those hopes?
Yeah, I think Ms. Hicks's testimony hurt the prosecution. I think Michael Cohen is absolutely quintessential to the prosecution's case. Having him be viewed as a credible witness, which I got to be honest with you, after watching him on TikTok and his ridiculous TikTok videos and things like that, that's going to be tough for the prosecution. But I think Hope Hicks's testimony last week hurt the prosecution.
Now, he's, it's my understanding his TikTok videos, it's response to the former president's posts throughout the trial. Is that the case? So kind of like, why would one be damaging to Cohen and maybe perhaps the former president's comments are not damaging to him in this trial?
Oh, well, because I think that unless the former president testifies, I don't know that those statements will get before the jury. But when they cross-examine Michael Cohen, I think they're absolutely going to seek to go into that. Look, I think the theory, if I was defense counsel, I would argue that Michael Cohen was rogue. He would do a lot of things on his own. Hope Hicks seemed to talk about that a lot during her testimony. And his erratic behavior, I think, helps the defense because it lends credence to this argument that, he was just kind of doing a lot of this stuff on his own, and he absolutely is a kind of personality that has to be in the limelight. If I was the defense, I would be focusing on that to dash Michael Cohen's credibility.
So then, given that, like you said, yeah, they've already said, listen, this guy, Michael Cohen, he's a rogue player. He's been a rogue player inside the Trump organization. He said he was desperate to get back at Trump because he didn't get a job at the White House. I mean, but then how can prosecution convince the jury to discard those character claims?
So I think what the prosecution needs to do is present, and that's why they wanted to put the Access Hollywood video on and information about other people other than Stormy Daniels. They know that they have a witness in Michael Cohen who's weak. So they are trying to put around him a bunch of evidence so they can argue to the jury, hey, look, this is not just about Michael Cohen. We have a whole bunch of evidence that shows that this conspiracy did in fact occur. Now, I will tell you what I read and saw, that Hope Hicks testified that there may be another reason why former President Trump was concerned about the Stormy Daniels case, and that is in regards to his own wife. So if there was a separate intent rather than to impact the election, that would hurt the prosecution's case big time.
Right. Yeah. She mentioned that the president was concerned about Mrs. Trump and, wouldn't want a story like that, him having some whatever dalliance he had with a porn star while she was with child. Anyway, Michael Cohen is a big boy, and he can stand up for himself. So if he does take the stand this week, what questions can we expect from prosecution?
Well, I think the prosecution will seek to, they're going to have to elicit the facts surrounding the arrangement. But key and crucial, the prosecution is going to have to establish through Michael Cohen is that the former president knew that the former president was engaged in this so-called payoff, that he knew exactly what was going on, and he was agreeable to it and wanted to see this happen. And also, most importantly, the reason was to protect this information from going out to the voting public. And therefore, based on the prosecution's theory, this conspiracy was to impact the election. That's the key that the prosecution is going to have to get out with Michael Cohen this week.
We will see. Steve Baric, thank you very much.